Suzanne and I'm here with Reuben, and this is his 5-month update. So let's get into it. So weight. So he was last weighed on the 11th of Feb and he was 15 pounds and 4 ounces. His birth weight was 8 pounds 3, so he's currently tracking on the 25th centile. He was on the 50th to start with, but we had a few weeks where he just refused to feed, so he kind of went down, and then we went on to formula, and he's just tracking nicely on the 25th centile. We did have a couple of weeks ago where he again was refusing his bottles, would just scream every time I tried to feed him, but it turns out he had a cold come in, so that's why he was grumpy. We took him to the doctors and got him checked over and he was fine, but then I also got the cold, so I felt really sorry for him because he must have been feeling really poorly. But we're back on track now with feeding, and actually he turned 5 months on the 18th of February and we just started him on a bit of baby rice, didn't we? So we're starting weaning early just because he's never been a particularly good milk drinker. He's been quite sicky, so I've read that it can be good for that, and he's obviously chewing on anything he can get his hands on, really interested in food, has good hand to mouth, so we just felt it was time. So yeah, hopefully that will go well. We'll update you at 6 months. His height is about 67 centimetres, so I just measured him myself with a tape measure, so that's not a formal measurement, but he was in 3 to 6 months clothes, and he still does fit into quite a few of his 3 to 6 months, but we are moving on to some 6 to 9 months. So this dungaree set is a 6 to 9 month, and his vest is 3 to 6 months, but we have got a vest extender on today. So development wise, this month he has started to hold his feet. He prefers holding his right foot, but he does hold his left foot as well. He did roll over a few weeks ago quite a lot from his back to his front, but he's just got bored of that now and decides he doesn't want to do it, and mainly because he gets then stuck on his front and gets frustrated and doesn't really like it. So mainly yeah, holding feet this month, still blowing a lot of raspberries and bubbles with his face. He finds that quite funny, especially when he's having milk and he's had enough. He'll, instead of sucking, he'll just blow bubbles, which is not very funny when you're trying to feed him. So activities that we do, so I do an exercise class twice a week at David Lloyd, and I take him along and he sits on his playmat with his toys and basically just watches me exercise, but he seems to enjoy it, gives him some stimulation, listening to the music. What else do we do? On Thursdays we generally meet up as well with our NCT friends and babies. On Fridays we have a coffee morning here in Long Ashton where I live, where I meet up with the other mums around in the village. Mondays we try and meet up with people, so this Monday we had a lunch with some friends I used to work with. What else do we do? That's about it at the moment. I'm thinking of starting to take him swimming regularly, maybe once a week, so maybe on a Friday afternoon or a Monday afternoon, and I'm just kind of looking into some other classes that we could do. On to some of his favourite things that we have here. So this puzzle toy he's been loving because he can really spin round the things on it, and also he likes it when he's sitting up. He likes to hold it and play with it. We've got our blankie bear. We have this generally at sleep time, but he cuddles up to and chews his head. We've got the giraffe. He's been a favourite for a couple of months, loves chewing his head. Oh, do you like Mr. Giraffe? And just generally holding him. we've been using, he's not teething yet, but he does love to bite on everything, so we've got this teething ring that he's been loving chewing on for the past week or so. As you can see, nicely demonstrated. We've got this caterpillar that comes to the gym with us quite a lot that vibrates, and he likes to chew the end. And what else we got? This is his teddy. We call Reuben Little Roo, and this is a Little Roo teddy, and he quite likes chewing him as well, but I think he'd chew anything he could get his hands on. He plays a nice little tune, so that's quite nice and calming. This isn't really a favourite, but it's a new present from my brother, and it's a snowman board book. I used to torment my brother with the snowman when I was a kid, so he bought this as a bit of a joke, but I'm going to make sure Roo loves the snowman. So poo-wise, we've started probably the month off with about 7 poos a day, but I think he got a little virus because there's a girl around the corner who was also doing the same. So that wasn't a fun week. And then he got a bit constipated, so we moved on to mixing a bit of comfort milk into his normal milk. And but now we're on to about 1 to 2 poos a day, and he seems to be quite happy with that. So his nicknames, like I said, we call him Little Roo, Roo, Sausage, Saucisson, Monkey, Poppet. He has quite a lot of nicknames. So our routine, so we're roughly following the Gina Ford consented baby routine, but I've read the Week by Week book and the Baby Whisper book, so we take bits out of all of them. So we generally get up about 7 o'clock, and he has a feed, and it can really depend. Sometimes he'll have just 50 mils and then have enough. Sometimes, like this morning, he had 150. So his milk take first thing is really random. Then we get up and I put him under his activity gym. I have breakfast and we do a bit of tummy time, and we look at toys and look at books. And then about 8:45 we go back upstairs and put him back in his cot, give him the rest of the milk that he didn't have at his 7 o'clock feed, and he generally now sleeps for about 40 minutes. So then we get up so anything from 9:45 to 10 o'clock. We get dressed for the day, so I cream him. He's still got dry skin on his belly, so I cream him, change his nappy, give him a wipe down, and then we come downstairs. And this morning he played in his jumperoo for half an hour, from 10 till 10:30. I did some jobs. Then we had our feed about 11:15. Like I said, I've just started weaning, and we're following the Gina Ford weaning routine. So he had as much feed as he would take at 11:15, which was 110 mils today. And then he had a teaspoon of baby rice. So that all went down quite well. So after that we did a bit more playing, sitting in the chair. He did a nice big poo. And then at 12 o'clock we went back up to bed. Now, I don't normally put him in his cot at lunchtime because we're normally out and about or doing something, but we're just having one of those at-home days today. And he slept for a good hour and 40 minutes, so that was absolutely amazing. So I don't know if I'm thinking I should maybe put him to sleep at lunchtime at home a bit more. So that was brilliant. Then we'll have a feed. We're due a feed in a minute, so we're getting a little bit grumpy. So feed around anywhere from 2 to 3 o'clock, depending on how hungry he is, what we're doing. Then yeah, we might go out or go for a walk. Sometimes he has a little cat nap around 4 o'clock. Sometimes he doesn't. Then at 5:30 I sit him in his chair and we start to kind of wind down for the day, put CBeebies on, and we watch a bit of Grandpa in our pocket. I get the bath stuff ready, put the water on for the formula, and at about 6:10 we start our bedtime routine. So he has as much feed as he will take, probably from next week he'll start having a bit of baby rice or puree at this feed as well. And then we go up for bath, we have a story, we have a massage, we have a cuddle, and then we put him in his cot and give him the rest of his milk that he didn't have at 6 o'clock. And then it's basically lights out, you and the sheep on, and hopefully sleep by about 7:15. And he sleeps generally quite well from 7 till 10, and then I give him a dream feed at 10. And then, we see how the night goes. He still wakes up a few times in the night, but I don't feed him in the night. So last night he woke up about 3:20, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, but just settle him down with his dummy and some cuddles or pats. So that's our routine. So just made the feed up, it's just cooling down. So last things to update you on are places we've been this month. So we've been to visit Reuben's grandma and granddad in Warsaw, his auntie and uncle in Burntwood, and we stayed over the night, didn't we? And that was quite good. We've been down to Brixham where his granny and grandpa live, but they weren't there, and had a few nights away there. We've been to the West Bromwich Albion ground for his great uncle's surprise 60th birthday party. We've been to Portishead for a walk. And where else have we been? Just lots of places around Bristol. So I hope you enjoyed Reuben's 5-month update. I think he's ready for his feed now. So we'll say goodbye and we'll see you at 6 months.